Okay, so if you don't see any cats, it's because I had to, give them up. I don't have much longer to be in this place. I don't have a place to go, so this is my life right now. That being said, I treat myself every now and then, and I got myself a couple new issues of Captain America to enjoy. So I got Captain America 697 with Kraven the Hunter in it. In this, Kraven is, of course, going to be hunting Steve. And I absolutely adore this series. Like, I adore the guy that they got to do this. Or the guys. The people, I should say. The people, because I don't know if it's all guys. But Mark Waid, Chris Samney, and Matthew Wilson, all of them have been doing a damn fine job with Captain America. It has lost the shit in it that really pissed me off and forced me to not read the series anymore. So, and then after that is 698, and it is really, really good, but there's like stuff in there that actually kind of bothers me. Mostly because it's really hard to actually take over America in the way that they've got it here. I'm not going to spoil it too much if I can help it, but I will say this. It's really hard to take over America, mostly because we have so many checks and balances in place, and by design. We have a legislative branch, an executive branch, and a judicial branch, and they're all supposed to be working together as well as against each other. They're supposed to be checking and balancing everything between each other. So if you have a dictator elected into office, then the legislative and the judicial branches are like their job is to continuously get in the way of like anything that goes against our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. So it's really hard for all of that to actually happen unless we let it happen. And when I say unless we let it happen, we keep electing people that are going to be complacent, that our politicians are going to be complacent, our media is going to be complacent, and we become complacent. If all of these things that should be checking everything else becomes complacent, that's when that can happen. Now, I know in a disaster, things can really cause havoc. And so, I guess that would make sense, but not the way it's done here. I'm pretty sure the military and the police force would not go with this kind of thing happening the way they have it done here. It doesn't matter because it really doesn't matter because it's a comic book. And I love exploring this kind of thing, but I like to think that I could probably think of a better way to do this without causing me to sit there and go, I've already got a story that I have thought about, and to explain, I made up a son for Bucky Barnes in an RP that I do with a friend, and he is Ivan Petrov Barnes. He is Russian. He came from a Hydra agent in Bucky as kind of like trying to pass on any aspect of the special super soldier serum that it's not Zemo. Oh God, my brain! I'm having a massive brain fart on this. drive myself crazy trying to think of it, but the super soldier serum that Bucky has, thanks to the experimentation done on him. I'll just say that. So that's Yvonne. So I wanted to have Yvonne put into something and not just waste him as a fan character. So I tried to come up with a cyberpunk type of story, which I've never done cyberpunk before, and I'm not overly fond of cyberpunk to an extent. I'm not nihilistic enough to do some of the things that are required in cyberpunk. So it's kind of like cyberpunk light. I mean, it's kind of like cyberpunk in reference only type of thing. I'm more Captain America than you probably can imagine. There's a reason he's my favorite. Yeah, he's my favorite superhero. Same with Superman. I mean, come on, Superman. But anyway, I have been trying to play with that kind of thing too for that. So anyway, I'm gonna get away from that because I do this so off the cuff. I'm having brain freezes trying to think of what to say next, and so I might as well just go ahead and talk. I'm not sure if I talked about it before, but I used to read Nightwing when I was much younger. I used to actually read Robin, which had not Dick Grayson, Tim Drake as Robin, and I really actually preferred Dick Grayson. So much so that I actually, when I was able to get it, I would get Batman, Catwoman, Robin, Superman, and Nightwing. I kind of got out of it because for a long time because I had to pick one series to stick with, and that was it. And that series was Witchblade. So when I started looking more into Batman, because I hadn't been into it forever, I thought, oh hey, I know, I'm going to look it up for role-playing purposes, and so I started looking into the Bat family, and I've fallen in love with Jason Todd, even though I had no idea about him before. He was a blip on the screen, and now I've looked into him just like, I like this guy. He's kind of the Punisher. He's kind of the Punisher if he was semi-immortal and kind of a dick. I mean, Frank Castle is kind of a dick on his own to begin with, but he's not quite in Jason territory of being kind of a dick. So I started getting back into Nightwing, and when I went and finally got myself some Nightwing comics to read, I picked up this one, and this asshole, I love Dick Grayson so much, but he is ridiculous. He falls off a building, got shot in the shoulder, bounces off onto the ground, and then he hits something in his mask that activates his in-suit defibrillator and gets back up again. He should be laying down and letting somebody take care of him, but no, this asshole's gonna get up again and keep going. Mind-boggling, he's fucking ridiculous, I love him. And he's going after a guy called the Judge. Now, I'm gonna say I think he probably showed up in Nightwing before I ever got anywhere near it, or the Dick Grayson series, which I have yet to still pick up. I think I want to get the trades of those when I am able to. But anyway, he's going after a bad guy called the Judge, and the Judge is weird. He's apparently he sees corruption in people, if that makes any sense. But here's the Judge, and somebody called him Oh, that was a hilarious name. You skinny hipster idiot. I think that's an apropos name for him. But poor Dick, oh, he gets knocked around so much in this. But, you know, I am happy. This is gonna be so stupid. I am so happy with DC because they had him strip and dance. Thank you, DC. I needed that. This made me happy. This precious asshole, I love him. They made me ecstatic. Oh, I can't wait for the next issue. Oh. I've also got Super Sons here because John Kent is fucking adorable and I love him. I've still yet to read these two New 52 Nightwing things that I got at half price. I got them mainly because I was craving Nightwing. Because who doesn't? I'm gonna stop. That's pretty much it. I got a new Super Sons and a new Superman as well. So, I'll get into those eventually. Oh, Dick Grayson, you are ridiculous. So are you, Steve?